What's up, everybody? My name is Damon and I'm your host for Geopolitics Watch. Welcome back. Today we got a great show for you guys. It's going to be chock full of information. I want to kind of call it a special show. We're going to be covering a particular topic, the topic of global warming. Now, this is a highly debated topic within the scientific community. We're going to break down a couple of the reasons why, and we're going to branch off into a lot of different topics which are crucial to understand. In order to understand the topic of today's show, the topic would be global warming, and what does that have to do with the mark of the beast? Now we're gonna break this down. Hope you guys really latch onto this information and give us some feedback. What do you think we need to know? Global warming is a term used to describe a gradual increase in the average temperature of Earth's atmosphere and oceans. Now, global warming is caused by the emissions of greenhouse gases. Now, according to scientists, 72% of those emissions are carbon gases from carbon. Carbon is created from the combustion of things like oil, gas, diesel, etc. So this is how carbon is created. Now, scientists say 72%, among other chemicals, 72% of these, what is causing global warming is carbon emission. All right, now this is when we come directly to what we call the global warming controversy. Now, the global warming controversy is about this. Some scientists dispute the effects of human beings on climate change. Some scientists think that human beings as a whole do not create enough carbon emission to affect the atmosphere in the way that other scientists say that it is happening. Now, this is a controversy, and I'm going to discuss some of the reasons why scientists believe that science is behind climate change now. So they believe that carbon emission, when it goes up into the atmosphere, it blocks the sun's rays from being able to leave Earth's atmosphere again, which leads to a concentration of heat within the Earth's atmosphere, which over time will lead to the Earth heating up more and more. So this is the science behind what they believe. Now, certain scientists in the same community don't agree with this because throughout history, scientists have gathered enough data to prove that throughout Earth's history, there has been climate change. Earth's climate has cycles, and it goes through cycles, and human beings have not been a big enough variable on the heating or the cooling of Earth and the system of Earth's climate change. Now, this is one reason why scientists would disagree with a global warming concept. Another reason is something called ClimateGate. Now, in 2009, in Europe, a scientific institution was hacked, and the emails that were leaked, over 1,000 emails and a couple documents that were leaked between two scientists who were alluding to the fact that they didn't have substantial evidence to back their claim behind global warming, and even alluding to the fact that they were being manipulated for political uses and for political gain. Now, these are some of the reasons why there's a controversy about whether it's real or whether it's actual substantial danger to human beings on Earth. As I mentioned earlier, the global warming conflict isn't just about the dispute of whether it's detrimental to the human race or not, but it's also about the dispute over what type of policy should be put in place in order to avoid catastrophe in the future. Now, one of these, the most mainstream one of these ideas that have come out of this is what is called a carbon tax. Now, what a carbon tax is a tariff, or a tariff levied on the content of fuel. The fuel that would obviously create CO2, carbon dioxide emissions. Now, it would be the government would set a price on carbon per pound. Now, I mean, nations all around the world already practice this, like Ireland, Australia, Chile, Sweden, Finland, Britain, New Zealand. All these other countries already levy a tax on carbon. So this is one of the solutions that they have come up with in order to fix this this global warming issue. Now, not only besides from the problem of CO2 emission into the atmosphere, leading to the warming of the Earth, they also believe that a global carbon tax would fix other problems, such as poverty reduction, population reduction, global warming, energy allocation, and blanket distribution of wealth. And this is what they believe a carbon tax on the world would solve. These problems would solve. This is where it gets tricky and the information becomes vital now. Because what I want to talk to you about next is something that is not probably too known, it's not very popular in the mainstream, but has everything to do with global warming, has everything to do with carbon tax, and has everything to do with the future, our future. Okay, now what we want to talk about is technocracy. Government control over society or industry by an elite technological experts. Now, when you start talking about technocracy, you want to look at the history of it, where it started, how it started. Now, it was officially, it was unofficially known about in the 30s, but not until 1973, when the Trilateral Commission was formally founded by Zbigniew Brzezinski, David Rockefeller, and Jimmy Carter. Now, Zbigniew Brzezinski was the 10th National Security Advisor who served under Jimmy Carter, and these are the guys who founded the Trilateral Commission. You might be asking, well, what is the Trilateral Commission, or what does it have to do with this? Well, this is the thing. These guys started the Trilateral Commission. Zbigniew Brzezinski wrote a book, and it's called Between Two Ages, and this book is about the future technocratic era that he visions for the world. And now I'm going to go into quote from his book, Zbigniew Brzezinski's book, called Between Two Ages. In the technocratic era, the trend would be toward aggregation of the individual support of millions of uncoordinated citizens, easily within the reach of a magnetic, attractive personality, manipulating communication techniques to control emotion and reason. This is a quote from Zbigniew Brzezinski's book. This is his quote now. This would equate to his future idea of what the world would be. His idea what the future of the world would be. Now there's another guy who wrote a book. And this book is called Technocracy Rising. This is a book you gotta go get, you gotta read, you gotta check it out. Because this book will really break down for you the ideology behind the technocratic era, the ideology behind the people who believe in this and who are pushing for this. Now, in his book, he goes on to quote, he says, technocracy is a system designed to replace capitalism with the currency being energy. This is what this guy wrote, and his name is Patrick Wood. This is the author of this book. A system designed to replace capitalism with the currency being energy. Now, this brings us right back to carbon tax, because essentially what carbon tax is a tax on energy. That's directly what it is. Now, before we get into that, I want to talk about something that just recently happened. And it should be very big news, but it's really not all over the mainstream media. Okay, a UN official claims global warming is a hoax to eliminate capitalism.